I'm here with Nick Watchorn today, who's the founder of the LNPG, which is the Landlords National Purchasing Group. My name's Ettan. I'm the founder of Help Me Fix, the video chat maintenance platform, and the owner of Elite Heating and Plumbing. I'm interviewing Nick today to ask questions about the property management process, specifically pertaining to maintenance. So we're going to be talking about maintenance, tenants, contractors, landlords, and just to get your kind of expert opinion on a few things.
I hope I don't disappoint you.
I think you'll be fine. I think it's a small fry for you. So can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you've come from, and a bit about the LNPG as well?
Well, I came from Earth. Yes.
Good start.
No, on a serious note, I've been in the kind of property game now since I was 16. I was an apprentice carpenter and joiner, and then I did my apprenticeship. I was on doing roofs, and I didn't like roofs. Don't like heights. Me and heights, no. And then I left that industry, and then I became a broker, as it were. And then I got back into the property industry back in 2000, 2001. I'm getting old. So 2000, 2001, I got back into the property industry, and I bought some houses with some business partners of mine. And then I wasn't doing the refurbs for the first sort of 2 years, but they would never be done to a good quality standard on what I wanted. It would have always been the cheap end of the market. Yeah. And then I took over in 2000, probably 4, and then I've been doing the refurbs on all our houses and a few other people's, but there was a lot of houses we were doing. It was hard work, and then that's where I started. Yep. And then I tripped over contract division. It really wasn't something that I was looking for or understood. And then I started doing a lot of work on pricing, because when you start doing a lot of building work and refurbs, especially internal, it can be really expensive. Yeah. And you go from one shed, and what I call a shed is like B&Qs, a metal box with loads of products in it. So you go to one of the sheds, and then you thought, well, why is that price and not that price? And then you go to the trade counters, like Jewson's, you'd go to Howden's, and people of that week. Then you get into the plumbing world, and you go into PTS, City Plumbing, Wolseley, and it's just a completely another minefield. Yeah. And I was good on the countryside, so timber, I was really good. But then I've got to learn about paint. I've got to learn about, and then you think, well, why is that £44 and why is that a tenner?
So you really took it by the horns. I mean, you were you got involved. You wanted to work out the pricing, and you understood that there was kind of differences everywhere.
There really was, and again, back in the old days when you could buy hardwood, softwood, and different countries make different qualities of timber.
Okay.
And where you would use X and where you would use Y. Now it's all renewable timber. And it was hard. It was really hard, because being a chippy, why would you know about it? Why would I know what was a good boiler and what was a bad boiler? I just looked at the price. Oh, and I got stung, because the biggest cost going forward for me after I'd done the refurb was the redecoration. If a tenant moved out a year or 18 months, I had to repaint. Right. Every time a tenant goes in, and it was costing me the labour plus the paint. It cost me £1,000 plus to do a 3-bedroom house, top to bottom, because I was doing all single lets, like families, like a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Most of mine, I don't have a 2-bedroom. I think they're all 3 beds, and I've got a couple of 4 beds.
How many? Do you mind me asking how many properties you have?
I had 30.
You got 30?
No, I did have 30, and then we brought that down, because one of the things when we started in 2000, you don't ever think you're going to come up for retirement. I'm still a long way off of that.
I hope so,
But my business partners are coming up to retirement, and we agreed when they hit 65, they wanted out.
Right.
Well, we forgot about 65. We forgot about 66. I mean, they're 69 now, and they're saying to me, Nick, any chance that we could sell a few? And we have sold a few, and I've probably got about 18 left now.
And how do you how do you manage those properties? So do you self-manage, or do you have agents that manage those properties for you? And when I mean manage, I don't just mean rent collection, because that's just rent collection. In terms of the day-to-day maintenance problems, you know, tenant CO alarms going off, or you know, water coming through the ceiling, who deals with that for you?
I did, and I knew I couldn't do both.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I did it badly, because this was suddenly full time. This was when we first started, 2011. I thought I could do both, and you just run out of time. There's not enough hours in the day, especially I'm working weekends on LNPG, and I was doing presentations all around the country, so everybody still come to me. So Norman, great good friend of mine, and David, who's the FD for LNPG, took over some of the responsibility for me, and then I met a builder up there, and we've got two under a letting agent that they look after, but the builder, so all the tenants got introduced to him. There's a problem, they ring him, he lives up there, so he's on call to them, and we put him on a retainer. That plus, because what I couldn't, and again, this is my own personal view, so there is good in everything that to do with like property, like letting agents. There is a need for them.
Yeah,
there's a need for a builder, but I just preferred to have my tenants ring a builder, maintenance guy, that when he went there, if he could, was to fix the problem straight away.
Straight away.
So then they're in and out. What I didn't see the point of a letting agent going out, looking at the problem, or ringing someone up to go and have a look at the problem, report back, then report back to me. It was just a triangle that just puts massive delays in.
So you've got, we're jumping forward a little bit, but
Sorry.
No, not at all, because this is what the crux is. So you have the tenant who reports an issue to the agent, who then basically reports the issue to the landlord,
Yep.
and says, I need to send a contractor out to have a look at this. You say, okay, and you authorise a call or whatever, a visit or a free quote or whatever it is. The contractor then contacts the tenant, who then goes out to the property, reports back to the agent, who then reports back to the landlord with a quote. The landlord then goes back, agrees the quote, goes to the quote, and it just goes like that, doesn't it, the whole time?
That's why I now don't put cheap boilers in.
Okay.
You're in the plumbing world. So every time a boiler breaks down, you do that triangle. Because no matter what happens, tenant rings me.
Angry as well.
Yeah, because they know the boilers are breaking. They don't really that peed off with me. They're just annoyed that the fucking boiler's got no hot water. What happens is they ring me, I then ring the manufacturer. They say I can come tomorrow. I ring the tenant back. I'm not in tomorrow, so I ring back the thing, get dates off of them, see when they can go, and I've got to tie the two up. That is a nightmare to manage. You got 1 or 2 houses, you get away with it, but as soon as you get to 4, 5 or 6, it becomes a major issue if you put the cheap end boilers in. And guess what I did? I'm like every other idiot that sees a price on the wall when you walk into a plumbing merchant and go, I'll have that boiler. Oh, that's what I want. £500. 5-year warranties. Back then you were lucky if you got 5 years. It was 2 years, 3, and it went to 5. 5-year warranty. And then the boiler broke down. And this is the other trick that boiler manufacturers do. The cheap end is that the boiler breaks down. You tell the tenant, you ring them up and say, oh, the boiler's breaking down. They said, okay. And this is morally incorrect, because some of the manufacturers were saying to us, are they LHA tenants? Oh, they need to pay £140 call-out fee, because if it's not our fault, then we'll charge them that fee.
Can you just tell everyone that doesn't know what LHA tenants are?
Benefit tenants, which is morally.
That's not.
Oh yeah, it was.
That's not.
Because I was nearly 100% LHA tenants. And that happened, I can tell you that even the properties, 15 burner.
That sounds quite discriminatory.
I think it is, but they're even bringing that back in now, some of the manufacturers, and I don't want to name names, but that it doesn't have to be with LHA tenants. If the call is not their fault, then you have to pay.